Hi, hello, good evening, and good day, wherever you are. This is Strat Chat, and I am your boy, Kyle Petty, and we are joined by TAYLAH as she exited the Big Brother Australia house, much to our chagrin. So, thank you so much for joining us. Definitely want to be respectful of your time. So, let's just get into it. Okay, I am Kyle Petty, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host John Dunphy. Unfortunately, Gina could not be with us this evening because she has work obligations, so many lamentations to her. But once again, thank you, TAYLAH, for joining us. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod, or after the fact, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to receive your podcasts. All right, so to hop into this whole thing, TAYLAH, how familiar were you with Big Brother before you got into this? Was this your first experience with it? Like an old time fan? Did you watch? Like, what did you know about it?
So I was a huge fan growing up. So I watched the
Mm.
original format and was obsessed with it, just watching everyday people. The new versions I hadn't watched. I didn't realize that I had to be physically fit. I hadn't stepped foot in a gym ever. I
But you still looked physically
probably
fit.
got
I'm
a
surprised
membership
you're
before I
referring to
left.
yourself that way.
Yeah, I did not realize that it was so physically challenging.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, these challenges are really and these are a lot more intense than the challenges that we have in like BBUS. Like they feel like they're like a lot more intense at times. So but they're a lot of fun to watch. Did you at least have fun like competing in them?
I had so much fun. And that's the thing is I don't have that challenge mindset to win. It's just I'm here to have fun and I'm going to give it a crack. And if I lose, I lose, but I'm going to have fun doing it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Love that. That's the attitude you have to have going into it. Um,
Yeah.
your experience started off with a bang, right? Because you went right into the BB Express, got on that horrible, horrible train. But like, if I remember correctly, it seemed like you were kind of the one that really rolled with the punches the best. Except for that moment, I saw your wine got spilled. Didn't like that for you. That made me very upset and very sad.
Yeah.
Spilled wine is a crime.
Right.
Somebody should have been locked up for that. Yes. What was your experience on the train like? Was it as horrible as others made it out to be?
Yeah. So I actually have a fear of trains, and I didn't tell Big
Really?
Brother that. But I cannot go on a train. I
Oh
panic
my
and
goodness. Why?
I really bad claustrophobia being stuck
Oh,
anywhere.
okay.
So as soon as those doors open and I see in a train, you can see my face. My biggest fear, the moment I walk in, and I knew it's like, right, I have to be on my game here. So the whole time I'm pretty much meditating internally.
Wow.
So you got met with your biggest fear on the way in. Like other people had to wait. The whole Gracie May with being chased by the clown, Jake having the snake crawl over him. Like you literally got your biggest fear the second the game started.
Yep. So I feel like that set me up to be okay for the rest. I faced my biggest fear to start with for 24 hours and I was set.
Oh
That's
wow.
wild to me, especially because again, you seem like the best composed of everybody else that was
Oh,
on that train. So like that's really impressive. So like,
I was
kudos to
I
you.
was doing breathing techniques on that train.
I love trains. It's like breaking my heart
Oh
a little bit. Oh my gosh, the gentle rocking from side to side, the chugga 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 chugga, so nice. It's so
no,
peaceful.
not when there's like six other sweaty, hot boys and girls in
Ah,
it. No,
you ignore them, take a
no.
little nappy, have some wine and lay it down.
And in an itchy dress, the dress was so itchy.
Oh, that pink
Oh,
dress. It
yeah.
Yeah,
looks so
so
cute though.
it did look it was worth it.
Yes. And arguably, I think that pink dress may have been part of the reason why Dion removed you from the train,
Kate,
right?
Perry.
Yes, give you those Katy Perry vibes. Yes.
That's right.
Did Big Brother reveal to you, like when you were coming, not until you got into the house, right? Did you actually find out who removed you from the train? You didn't know coming off of it, right?
No idea. As
No.
soon as I walked into the house and I seen Dion up on, I think it was Jake's shoulders with a lemon, he was like, "My princess, I've saved you." Like, oh, this is the bloke that got me out.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So funny. I think that's fantastic. That definitely did look like the beginning of like your friendship with Dion, right? That we kind of saw grow throughout the season. The next time you were in trouble, he removed you from trouble, from harm's way, and brought you to BB's Speakeasy, which looked like an absolute blast. Dion was telling us you had no concept of what time it was in there. Were you keeping track of time any better than him?
No, honestly, we had no idea, no idea, and it throws you completely out.
I'm sure.
No.
Yeah, there was something else that Dion said too. He told us that apparently they were just playing like the same 3 songs over and over and over again or whatever. It's
I
like
still hear, I still hear those songs play in my head. Like, that was torture, actual torture. And then when you try and have a rest and be like, right, okay, we can do this, you'd start going insane just because of those songs playing.
I believe it.
yeah.
Who were the other people that were joining you in these parties? These random people? Like, was that cool? Was that creepy? I couldn't decide, like, as I'm watching this.
It was creepy. So we'd only been in the house not too long, but long enough to be confined to only the people in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So when I walked, I seen a bunch of strangers. I thought, is this my family? Is this an intervention? Like, what's going on? Weird. I think they were all just actors.
Right.
So strange. Yeah, because when you focus on them, like watching the episodes, some people look like they were really into it, which again, cool, creepy, can't decide. And then there were certain people just kind of like standing there, like almost like just completely motionless, just like holding the drink. And it's like, where did you find these people? Like, what is this?
I was trying to have a chat with them. Like, I'd go and get one a beer and I'd be like, what do you do with yourself? You're single? Like, you're my type.
And what do they say?
Nothing. And that's why it was even weirder.
Oh, they didn't speak to you?
They must have been instructed to not really talk to us or involve in conversation. So when I was, being like, what do you do? And they'd be like, This is
wow.
It's like a parallel universe.
Right,
Yeah. That is very weird.
Yuck. Yuck. Someone made mention, I think it was Dion was complaining it was like the same food every time. What were you being served? What were you eating while you were in there?
It was a chicken schnitzel.
What is a schnitzel?
Do you know what that is? It's like a crumbed chicken breast crumb.
Oh, like amazing. A chicken cutlet, a breaded chicken cutlet.
A chicken cutlet. And
what do you call it? A schnitzel.
A snitty is what we call it in Australia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I thought it was amazing.
anything chicken with bread, sign me up.
There was no seasoning on it, no sauce, nothing, just plain dry chicken. But
well, arguably, it might have been better than you getting in the house, right? If you had no shopping budget, so that's right. Just keep me on the breaded chicken.
And 3 meals a day compared to we'd be having, a couple of almonds a day. Oh, heaven.
Right. Oh man.
Is that really how bad it was? Like when you didn't get that luxury shopping budget, like what were you eating? Like now that we're on it.
We would go days where all we had in the fridge was bags of spinach, maybe a carrot, some lentils. Yeah, it was like you just had to get creative. And you don't realize, you're going through sugar crashes, caffeine crashes. We're going through all these withdrawals. And so we're hungry. We're withdrawing off all of this stuff. Just heightens the mood. Yeah, we were.
Wow. So those nights when Big Brother gives you guys like burgers or like pizza or something, those really are like big occasions.
Yeah.
That's a very big deal.
And then the question box would come out and I'm thinking, I don't want to play the game. I just need to eat. Like, I don't want to talk.
Right. I don't blame you. Yikes.
Yeah. Okay. There was something I wanted to ask you because I've been thinking about this. You were the longest surviving single in the house, right? Like this game felt like all season, like these couples felt like they were dominating, and like you just kept working your way through the game as a
Champion.
single, almost making it to the top three. Like, what do you think like worked for you better than like other people that maybe weren't in relationships in the house? Because like you just did such a great job. I felt like getting so far in the game.
I think it worked to my advantage because I never took sides with anybody. I played a very solo game. And I think so no one saw me as a threat because I was everyone's friend. I never put myself to one side to anybody. And I feel like that worked. Whereas some of the boys like Lewis and Dion, they really stuck to the boys or, and so if you're going to vote one of them out, you're going to vote both. So.
Right. Right.
Worked.
No, definitely. It definitely worked. Yeah, it definitely worked. Because we saw Monet, fighting for you, for Louis to take you to the top three. Like, so it wasn't like you almost made it there. Like you had people rallying for you to be part of that top three. And like, so I think it's a real testament to how well you played the game. So yeah.
Thank you.
And such an interesting shift in dynamics here when you're talking about the social structure of like the house and the game, because historically it's really not good to be in a romantic relationship while in the Big Brother house because it makes you so much more of a target. But this season, we've seen people go home for not being in a romantic relationship. And then we saw people like you shine for having not been in one, right? And you don't have to choose a side. So, what other relationship did you have in the house that you think maybe propelled you forward a little bit? Because you certainly don't get to the end of this game without relationships. So that means we just didn't get to see them. So who else would you say were your best friends in the house?
I think a bit with everybody because everyone else was in relationships and I was already known to be the one to give advice, with my platform, I give advice. So I had all of these different people coming to me about their relationship problems. So I'd sit there and I would listen. And I think that's how I become allies with everyone. It's like I would be the dumping ground for, the jealousy and the fights and the tears. And yeah. I wouldn't say that there was anyone in particular that I clung to the whole time. And I think, I was quite sad about that looking back. It's like I didn't really form a best friend in the house, but I was allies with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, very, very impressive too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
think, yeah. So probably the biggest connection that I did have was Dion. Like watching it back, I can see how our relationship formed and that was really special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I have a follow-up question there then too, because I will say that I was a little surprised, when Dion was up for eviction, and kind of needed your vote to kind of help him stay safe here. You kind of burned your vote on Josh, because we didn't know this was a double eviction then. Like obviously, in hindsight, we now know it would not have mattered what you did there, but we didn't know that in the moment. So I guess question one is what prompted you to toss that vote on Josh and not put it on Lewis?
My plan at that point was I needed to break up a couple. That's all it was. I love Josh, but it was I needed to get rid of a couple, and he was the only one sitting in that chair that was in a relationship, and that's where my head was at.
So it truly was about trying to go for a couple and not necessarily like working against Dion or anything like that.
Absolutely. And you can see through most of my voting that I always would go for either Josh or TJ because in my head, right, someone has to go here. We can't have two relationships going on.
Very fair. So we mentioned this, the other day to Lewis, and he had said, the two of you had formed a really, really great friendship, and he had really pushed on you to not vote for him and to vote with Josh. Did his opinion kind of steer you in that direction as well?
Not really. I don't think.
Oh, sorry, Lewis.
Yeah, I really. I tried not to be influenced by anybody else, and no matter what, someone would try and push me to vote a certain way. I really just wanted to stay true to what my gut would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
I love all that stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
Something in like it's definitely true in Big Brother US. Like when you see people get nominated like a lot, right? They go on the block. It feels like week after week. You know, obviously you never want to be in that situation, but if you can make it far in the game, like that is like a big pitch to make, like for being like, I was in danger this many times, but I always survived. I always got the votes. Like for just like in your experience, like being somebody that was up there more than like anybody else, like being in danger of going home, like what was that like throughout the season? Like how did you handle that like as well as you did? You know, it was crazy to watch.
What people don't probably understand is that every time you're in that chair, you think you are going home. This is it. Every single time, no matter when people say you're safe, you're the safe boat, you still feel that real stress and anxiety that this is it. And so to be doing that over and over again, my head was just wild, wild. And you know what? The last time I was in that chair before I went home, that was the only time that I thought that I was ever safe. That was the only time I was sat there and was confident.
Right. Oh, oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's extra stingy. So I guess you were really convinced that it was the sisters that were going to be going home at this point.
I was so convinced. I went in with knowing in my head that Louis is not going to vote me out. We had a really good friendship. We had Strat Chat the whole time. You know, he'd promised that it was going to be me, and I believed that, and that was my downfall.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky. It's tricky. And I'd love to dive into that too. Looking at the season back, do you think that Louis made the best decision for his game and really set himself in the best position to actually win this thing now?
Yeah, so from a strategy perspective of the game, he is one of the best players, and we have to give that to him. He has played the game more than anyone from the very beginning, and he stuck to it. And I can see voting me out. That was the smartest move that he could have made. I would do the same if I was him.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what a good attitude to have with that.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think it kind of leads into like something else that I wanted to ask you about, because one of my favorite things about your story and like your time in the house was just the fact that you were the only like parent in there, you know, like having the story of being this single mom, and like the fact that you got to talk to your son at one point, and then he got to actually come into the house, which was like so awesome. But I can't imagine how difficult it was. Like, how difficult was it to be in this house full of strangers and away from your son like for so long? Like what was that like?
I wasn't prepared, and I had no idea how much it was going to impact me. Every day I couldn't get him off my mind. I found it really hard to have conversations because it was just worried and stressed and guilt. Like, what am I doing? Why am I here when I should be at home? Really challenging.
Yeah. Do you think it helped your game at all? Like the fact, like, do you think that people felt like we shouldn't get TAYLAH out? She's a single mom. She deserves to be here. You know, like, do you think that helped your game at all?
It definitely did help me. I think I got a lot of sympathy, but in the end, it was my downfall because people thought that I would win because of that. But at the end of the day, you know, just because I had a bit of unprotected fun doesn't mean that I should win because of that, because I'm a mum, you know?
I had a bit of unprotected fun. That is really fantastic.
Like, I kind of wanted people to see me for the way that I played the game, not just keep me in because I'm a mom.
For sure. Right. For sure. Yeah.
Seems a bit of a cop
out. Listen, we have to use what we have at our disposal to get us to the end. I mean, like, hey, it's just one of those extra benefits. Don't fault me for it. You know? A little bit. But I do think that's interesting too, because like with the Louis situation, I feel like this could be 50-50, because I feel like the Australian audience does not like strategy, right? They don't seem to vote that way. That's not really what they honor, right? And it certainly has surprised us as Americans, because like that's all we do. Like, we immediately write off all of our bad behavior and say, well, it's a game, you can't fault me, you're playing a game. And it's like, so does Louis get any blowback now for having axed the single mom? I kind of feel like he's like damned if he did and damned if he didn't. Like, he was put in a very like unfortunate position.
Absolutely. I've been seeing what people have been saying, that he deserves to lose because he voted out the single mum.
Ooh, see?
Right.
But he's playing the game, and that is what it is. That it isn't a reflection of his morals and who he is, and that's hard to explain to people. Of course, I was upset and I was devastated and I was so angry at Louis, but he's playing the game.
Right.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's so true. It's also really nice to hear you talking about how like the strategic side of the game and like how good Louis was at it and stuff like that, and how good people, were playing this game in the house. Because Kyle and I really got into Big Brother Australia, starting with the most recent season before this one, which is where we saw a lot of people in Australia saying they didn't love all the strategic stuff in this game. And like Kyle was saying, that's what we love. That's actually why we changed the name of our podcast to Strat Chat,
Yeah.
So like,
So
so it's
nod to our
really,
friends down under.
yeah. So like,
Yeah.
it's really nice to hear, you who've played the game in the house in Australia talking about like the strategic side of the game. Like it's really cool.
Well, at the end of the day, it is a social experiment. It's not,
Mhm.
you're not going in there to just prove that you're a good person. You're going in there to see, how can I manipulate and twist this so that I win? And
Right.
I feel like people are forgetting, and Louis deserves to be there.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. We like hearing that because we like Louis. Um,
Yeah.
the international versions of this game, played with a jury. And everyone who was now evicted, no, well, not everyone, halfway through, everyone. If you make it far enough, you now get to decide who should actually win this game. As a fan of the strategy, one who seems to respect that, and being the person that, he asked, would you vote for him? Who would your
I
vote
would.
go to? Oh,
I would still vote for Louis. I know
love that.
that is contradictory, but it's like
It's
he
not.
is.
It's respecting the game and what it's supposed to be. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. He is the king of it. Unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for all of us, he did do a good job there.
He did, and if he wins, I feel like he's going to take me out for dinner or something.
He better.
Okay. Yeah, he better.
I mean, like, come on. Your mom. And get my child something too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. I heard you say before, we were discussing some of the relationships you had in the house, that like, part of your platform has been like, giving advice to other people. Is that something you did before you got into the house? Like, is that who you are on social media? Like, who else is TAYLAH?
Yeah. So a lot of my my whole TikTok pretty much is just giving advice to women, even guys, about relationships, friendships,
Oh, I love that.
nothing that is too taboo that I talk about. And I feel like it's just a safe space for people to get advice and talk and bond, and yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome. For the people watching and listening, where can they find that?
That is, I think it's Taylor Davies 1, just on TikTok. A lot of random stories and advice. Maybe don't watch at work.
Not safe for work, because we really get into it on the TikTok.
Yeah. Definitely play too loud.
That's awesome.
Oh, we'll definitely have to check that out. I'm excited to check that out. Yeah.
Oh, look, you could learn some things.
Yeah.
I need to learn some things. So yes.
I got you.
What else do you have, John?
I think I asked all the questions that I wanted to. Thank you so much, TAYLAH. This is like really, really cool. We were really excited to talk to you. So this has been so great. And just it was so much fun to watch you all season in the house. Just wish you had made it to that final 3, but
right.
No.
It was a mixed excitement, It's like,
I
yes,
know.
we're talking to her. It's like, oh, that means she's not there. Yeah, damn.
No, thank you for having me. It's good. I am relieved it's all over now, and hopefully I'm back on the telly doing some more crying.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, that was the next question. What is next for you? Are you interested in doing any more reality TV? Like, would you ever play Big Brother again? Like, what is next for you?
I have no idea. I just quit my job.
oh, all right.
I have no
What was your job? Because weren't you a sheep farmer? You're not doing that anymore? The hell with the sheep.
I let go of the farm a year ago, like after it was filmed.
Oh.
And yeah, so I have no idea what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Right.
So what other reality TV would you do if not Big Brother?
I feel like I'd do Survivor. or
Those are
Farmer
so
Wants
good.
a Wife.
Oh, what is the other
Oh,
one?
okay. Farmer Wants a
But
Wife.
Oh, I don't really know what that is. Is this
don't
like
you?
just barnyard fun? Just like people like out on out on the farm, or like is this like farmyard like Bachelor question mark?
Yeah, it's like The
Oh,
Bachelor, but it's just a bunch of farmers and a bunch of different girls, and yeah,
it's actually kind of cute.
Yeah.
isn't
That
it?
I would actually probably watch. Like The Bachelor, I had no interest in. Like, I don't know, this whole like rose ceremony. Did they de-thorn it? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like a lot
And
going on.
clearly good at flirting or making relationships, so maybe not for me.
Who knows? It's a whole different environment, especially coming from a farm yourself. Like, maybe we'd thrive in this one. Be fine.
That's exactly. I could win. I might actually win a show this time.
How familiar are you with Survivor? Did you watch Australian Survivor? Obviously. Do you watch anyone else's?
Well, I have watched it, but looking back at Big Brother, I never won a single challenge. I feel like maybe me.
The Big Brother Australia challenges are like really hard. Like I
That one where we're in the cages, torture. Like
yeah.
pure, genuine torture. I was so frightened. Yeah, not for me.
No.
I
We
just want to
we
sit down, relax.
right. Like we joke a lot that the games that they'll play, like the challenges they have in like the Big Brother US version are almost like carnival games sometimes. Like they're so cheesy. Like the Big Brother Australia challenges feel like they're like really difficult challenges. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a mix of like physical and mental, and
Mhm.
oh god, no, not for me.
This last challenge, the one that was getting us from 4 to 3, that I couldn't believe how many different stages there were. Like when Big Brother had said, "Oh, there's going to be 4 stages," it's like, all right, 4 stages. Every single one got worse and worse. It was like everything about this sounded awful. Oh my gosh! And you being claustrophobic, how did you feel in that sand tunnel?
What they didn't
Oh,
show at Santa before we went on, they said at any moment that you feel like you can't do this, you just need to say, I need help, and we'll remove you, and then you'll be cancelled from the chance of winning. And so they said that to me, and that's like really good,
Okay,
mentally.
that's
And I was
comforting.
in
Yeah.
a moment where I was stuck between bags. I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I was so close to saying, get me out.
Mhm.
I didn't. I kept going. It was terrible. It was horrible.
Well,
wow.
kudos to you for still pushing through either way. So
Yeah.
honestly, awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Imagine that if I had said, get me out. No, no. That's what I waited. I was like, could I live with that embarrassment of doing that? Or no, that got me through.
All
No,
right.
that's awesome. Good for you. Good for you.
Hey,
Yeah, maybe if it was earlier in the season or something, I'll throw this one challenge away. But at that stage, you had to push
like,
through, and you did.
Push.
no, I kept going.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Um, Aside from anything, are you only on TikTok? Where else can our friends find you?
Instagram as well, just under Taylor Davies.
Right.
Instagram,
Excellent.
TikTok.
I guess you get that back by the end of the week.
I do.
Hopefully.
I can't wait just to see some of the messages and just see the
Yeah.
love. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
You're gonna get slammed with all of it.
Oh,
Everyone loved you. I never saw one bad comment about Miss Taylor. So
oh,
yeah,
so
excited for you. So for anyone listening and watching, you can find the rest of our post-eviction chats at Strat Chat Pod. We'll be here the rest of the week and recapping at the end as well. Thank you again to Taylor. Thanks for hanging out, and we're out of here.
thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Mwah.